Hi, my name is John Churchirillo, and I'm in Dr. Parsons' Law Class 2150 at Appalachian State University. Today I'll be talking to you about the minimum wage and how it affects business. Congress passed the first minimum wage under FDR's administration in 1938. It was only 25 cents an hour, which inflation would be roughly $4.22 today. He passed this under the Fair Labor Standards Act, which not only created minimum wage, but also overtime, record keeping, and youth employment laws in both public and private sectors. As the minimum wage is very volatile with inflation rates, it has not been a smooth linear journey. The highest minimum wage was actually in 1968 at $8.67, as opposed to today's at $7.25. Compared to the trend average of inflation rates, we are actually above the average and being paid more, relatively, than in the past. And while people complain about the minimum wage being too low, it is all set according to cost of living in different areas. As you can see from this graph, the different costs of living are shown by numbers and colors. The cost of living is very different depending on where you live. This is because the minimum wage is not supposed to be the wage in states with high cost of living. It is just supposed to be a bottom mark for the states with the lowest cost of living, like Arkansas. These charts show the difference between the minimum wage and the living wage in the top 10 most expensive places to live in America. Because San Francisco has the highest cost of living in the nation, it also has one of the highest minimum wages. To put San Francisco into perspective, an average house there costs $1 million, compared to Charlotte, North Carolina, with an average housing cost of just above $150,000. While the living and minimum wage are very different, history shows us how spoiled we really are. This is a chart showing average living in the 1950s versus 2008. The 1950s chart numbers have been inflated to 2008 rates. Immediately you see the difference in the households and the yearly salaries. The homes were only 960 square feet on average, and now they are 2,300 feet. For comparison, the App Height dorms are 900 square feet. The yearly salary is also extremely different. Not only are the 50 salaries a quarter of ours now, but it is half of our poverty line level, at the 50s rate being $11,000 a year, our current rate at $44,000 a year, and our poverty line at around $22,000 per year. The biggest idea behind minimum wage right now is to raise it to $15 an hour. This number is not only extremely high, but it is just over double our current wage. With new technology coming out every day that can easily do an unskilled worker's job, I wouldn't be demanding much right now. Many restaurants such as McDonald's, Chili's, and Panera Bread have already added electronic ordering kiosks that are not only get the orders correct 100% of the time, but also are 30% cheaper to use over the long run than employees, as they are a one-time payment and employees are indefinitely hourly. Also, electronic kiosks are much nicer to me than some employees. In a recent poll, nearly 50% of Americans work for small businesses, unlike McDonald's and Panera Bread. Many of these small businesses claim they cannot afford a raise in wages and would have to lay off a lot of their employees. To pay employees $15 an hour may cost a lot of Americans their jobs in the process. There seems to be no correct answers to the cost of living and minimum wage. Raising the minimum wage would lead to layoffs and robots, which keeping it down would cause people to still be impoverished. But after nearly 9 years of no increase, it is probably time for at least a small increase, and all of the articles I have found point towards $10.10 an hour. I hope you enjoyed my presentation and learned some new things about the minimum wage and cost of living in our country. Thank you.